Epomaker Tide 75. Another brand new keyboard from Epomaker. I have tested many Epomakers. The cool thing is they sent this over to me, but I use Epomakers anyways. I used them before I even started my YouTube career. So we can see here it's a triple mode aluminum gasket mounted mechanical keyboard. Very nice. You get 3 modes, obviously, Bluetooth 2.4 gigahertz and wired. VIA programmable, so you can go on and use the VIA software to program it. 3 and 5 pin hot swap, so it's a hot swappable keyboard. Gasket mounted, premium aluminum case, so it's going to be, that's why it's a little bit heavier. Okay, very nice. Oh, it's super heavy. Yeah, that's a heavy feeling keyboard. Plastic. Okay, this is a really, really nice keyboard. So that's a cut metal you can see there. It's almost like a brass cut metal. It's not completely like a silver. It's got a yellowish tinge to it. The keys there you can see have a black kind of matte, but there's a little bit of a shine to them. You can see that they do have the text written on them. Very nice. You got a little knobby there. Epomaker 2.4 gigahertz, your mode switcher. That's where you're going to charge it or connect for USB-C. It does have a natural wedge shape. You can see that there. So just at its natural level, you're going to get a pretty good typing experience. It does have that rolling style, which I like a lot, actually. I like when they have a rolling style. And it may not show up on camera, but the function was slightly actually lower, which I also like. Okay. On the bottom, we get a beautiful Epomaker insignia. It's a gorgeous keyboard. Rubber feet here, and they're going to keep it from sliding around. So you don't have like multi-stage raise up and down, but you probably don't need it because you have that. They gave me an Allen key to open it, but I don't want to open it yet. Grams. How heavy are you? 1,755 grams. It's as light as an Ultrabook. Pull the keycap off. I didn't need the thing. That's the switch type that it comes with. You can see there it's kind of the more stabilized Advanced Pro style switch. So you're going to get less dust in there, and I find them a little bit more stable too. Very nice. We'll look at the actual keycap itself though. So you can see there the printing is not on the top. It is on the front side. F11. It's not really a printing. That's not the right way to say it. It's actually, it's cut out, I would say. And then you have the RGB is going to shine through it. So if you were like really not a touch typist, I'm like kind of a touch typist, but if you're like the type who needs to like look at the keyboard to read the things, these might be an issue because you're going to have to look at them from an angle. But you can also turn on the lighting, so you'll be able to see. But just be aware of that. Basically, you just hit function Q for Bluetooth 1, W, Bluetooth 2, 3. So you can have 3 devices. But yeah, we'll test out the RGB after, but let's do a little typing test here first. Feels fantastic. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's gentle. It could be the switch. The switch it's a linear switch. There's absolutely no kind of like griminess to it. There's no kind of resistance in the spring there. It feels very, very nice to type on. It's hard to describe, but at the same time, the actual keyboard is incredibly robust. The keys feel good. The actual keyboard is like a big chunk of metal, right? Like it's super, super sturdy. There's absolutely no flex on it, obviously, because that's a huge piece of metal. And in the keyboard, like you have to really press to get that to go down, right? Like even a heavy hander, that's not going to move at all. You can press, but you have to freaking smash it realistically to get that to move. So it feels fantastic to type on. You can go with function Z to turn on and off the backlight. So we're going to go function Z. It's completely off. Function Z to turn it back on. Very, very cool. Function backslash is going to give you different effects. Oh, that's the speed. Wait, what? So that's a pulsing, different type of pulsing. kind of a radiative effect. Some of these are like, you know, the type where you type on them. Is that static? That's what I was looking for. It's kind of static. It actually has a pulsing effect going through it. That's fine. What else can we do here? Brightness up and down. So obviously that's brighter. That's darker. Let's go with max, I suppose. And, oh, less than minus over here. So green, blue, lime, purple, teal, red, green. So just your standard colors. What do I like though? I don't know. Red, green, blue, maybe blue. Actually, probably lime, because this has kind of a yellow look to it. The shining through here, let's turn off the lights here, right? So it does actually shine through. So if you're using it at night and you can't read those texts, you can see them. You can see through it, right? So from the top, you can't see them. From there, you can. So it's all going to depend if that's something that you're interested in. If you want to be able to see through, you know, the keys on an angle like that, you can always just, I mean, I guess you could swap the keycaps if you wanted down the road. I don't mind it because I actually type I'm super long armed, so I actually type my keyboard like far away, if anything. So for me, that's super easy to see. Yeah, so I mean, it's really up to you if you want to be able to, you know, not see through the keycaps like that. I don't mind it. I think it's actually kind of a nice thing. It gives you a sleek look to the keyboard, but at the same time, you can still read the keys. I'm kind of shook with this keyboard here. It's hard to really like talk about it. It's a very nice keyboard, but it's so different. Like I'm used to like plastic keyboards that are really nice and, you know, super nice to type on. So I mean, we could evaluate the switch. The switch is fantastic. I've used it many times. I don't normally like linear switches. I normally go for basically a tactile switch, but it's a nice linear switch. I have no problems using this linear switch. I've used it on several different devices. I haven't used the like Pro model, but I've had the standard one. They're fine. You could switch different switches from Epomaker when you customize a keyboard when you buy it. That's your pick. These are nice switches though. I think they're actually really nice and I could use them on a daily basis. And yeah, but the actual keyboard is so sturdy and robust. It's just such a nice thing to type on. It's just really, really nice. And then the keycaps have a good quality too. So the sound is nice, but it's such a sturdy keyboard that you just have absolute confidence that the keyboard is not going anywhere. It's hard to describe. Of course you have your little volume knob, right? Like whatever, little volume knob there, right? Just standard stuff there. But the keyboard is incredibly nice. So I guess that's kind of the review, I suppose. Yeah, it's a strange one. It's such a nice keyboard. Hard to talk about because you really have to just use it. Like, have you ever used a solid chunk of metal keyboard that's like really refined, super sturdy? I don't know. I hadn't. So for me, this is super novel. It's really, really, really nice, actually. So that's the keyboard there. If you were interested in it, go for it. I think it's super cool. You know, it's your pick. Epomaker has so many freaking keyboards now. Like I have this one. I just finished another review on one this side. I finished that like a couple weeks ago. I just finished 2 other reviews from them. They just have keyboards all over the place. So I actually highly recommend checking out the Epomaker stuff. They're on Amazon. I'll put some Amazon links down below to this one if I can find it. I guess that's the review. This thing is extremely cool. So yeah, thanks for sending it over.